2015 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD with the 6.6 diesel. Issue is, if you look in the instrument cluster here, it says driver assist system, service it. Well, what that is, if you look on this truck, when you're in driver reverse, it's got these radar sensors, I guess you could call them, 4 on the back, and then there's 2 on the front, that when somebody walks by, there's the other one and the other one on the front. When somebody walks by, when they're driving, they the vehicle alert, it'll come up on the dash and it'll vibrate the driver's seat. Well, if you go into Diagnosis, I get this door shut so it's not beeping. If you go into Control Unit, I'm just going to pull up the seat memory control module driver. And then you go to trouble codes. We have a B172E Echo 02 current and a history code. Driver seat, left rear haptic movement motor control circuit short to ground. So the seat will vibrate here. I can feel it on the right side vibrating, but not the left side. So when I clear this code, if I hit clear, this light will go off in the dash. I'm hitting clear right now, and it went off. So right now, there's no fault codes. If I hit read codes again, no fault codes. So I'm going to start the vehicle. I'm going to put it in drive. I'm going to have somebody walk by in front of the vehicle, and you can see it. I felt it beep there. I felt it vibrate. Look, the driver assist system came up. I felt the right side of the seat vibrate, but not the left. Put it back in park. Still, service, driver assist system. When I go to read codes, the code will be back. It goes from current to history. If I hit clear, and I hit yes, it goes away. No fault codes. So I'm going to put it in reverse. Go ahead and walk in behind it. I can feel it vibrating, beeping. Same thing, service, driver assist system. The right vibrates, the left does not vibrate. Go to codes, we have the same code. So now we're going to have to pull up this schematics and look at this left rear haptic movement motor and see what's going on. That's what's disabling, or not disabling, but alerting the driver of what's going on with this vehicle. So we'll look up TSPs real quick, make sure there's none, and we'll start troubleshooting it and go from there. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is, if I go to active test for the seat cushion haptic motors, if I'm saying that right. If I go to the driver's seat cushion right rear movement, I turn it on, hit enable, I can feel it and hear it vibrating. I wish my wife was here right now. I'm kidding. I'm going to hit disable. And I'm going to go to the left rear. And I'm going to hit enable. And I don't feel nothing or hear nothing. So that just proves it. But when we get down there with the schematics and the wiring diagram, we can go ahead and troubleshoot it from there. Alright, so I pulled up. There is a service bolt-in for it, for service driver assist message, 2015, 2018 all. It's just basically a tip, diagnostic tip, but basically talks about we have a B172 Echo, maybe set in the seat control memory module, which we do. The concern could be caused by driver seat cushion haptic seat motor circuit opened or high resistance near the motor. See pictures below. This is what we're going to go after, and they're basically showing that there's a wire broken off. Must be a common problem, because there's another truck that I'm eventually going to look at that has the same issue. But basically they say go into the active test, turn the left and right one on, which we did. The right worked, the left didn't. Then if it doesn't operate, perform the SI service information. but there's a tip that they say in many cases the wiring pigtail near the haptic seat motor has broken. So it says don't repair the pigtail, replace it. We'll see how bad it is if we can do it, if that's even the problem with this vehicle. Must be a common problem because it seems like there's several vehicles out there that have this issue, which is turn that message on. So now we're going to pull up the wiring schematics, service information data, and go after that. All right, so I got the service data pulled up for the B172 Echo. Driver seat cushion, left rear haptic, I think I'm saying that word right, haptic alert motor control circuit. We got a 02, short to ground or open or high resistance. I imagine it's open or high resistance in this case. It gives you a description of how it works. We already know that. And it talks about when it sets, service driver assist will be displayed. Well, we can go through all the schematics and look at all the FI, fault isolation stuff, but we're going to go right to the motor and start checking wiring and go from there. All right, so we got the seat out. If you look, if you look at the service information, there's a couple of bolts, one in the back right and the back left. You can't really tell on here, but pull the bolt out here and the bolt out here, and then you slide it out on these hooks once you get all the plastic off. Then we started popping the seat cushion off just to get under here. We're not taking all the way off, but I pulled the motor out, the haptic motor. And if you look, if you come up here with the camera, there's a broken wire, or they're actually both broken right there. They're both broken. And that motor just sits in this cushion. If you can get up in here more. And the motor just pops into this little hole in the cushion. So there's one on the driver's, one on the passenger. So now if you come back, this wire, we're going to pop this through down here. Remember where it comes in at. Pop it in. So we're going to remember it came through that hole. But you can see these wires are broken. So we're going to do a repair. It's not broken up here like the TSP showed. It's broken down here. We're going to splice these, fix it, put this all back together, and then I'll redo our checks. All right, so we got the piece. We took and soldered the wires in, shrink tubed them, taped it. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back in the seat, which I'm not going to put on film. It's just reverse order operations. Not that hard. Pretty simple to put it back together. Hook up the scan tool, do our test, and make sure it's all passes all of its tests. Or passes all of its tests. Can't even talk. All right, so we got the seat back in. We just got to put the plastics on. But now if you look, the history, it's a history code. It says not current in history. We're going to clear it. Hit yes. No fault codes. I'm going to go to active test. And then we're going to sit in the seat here. I'm going to go to the left one. I'm just going to turn it on, make sure it vibrates. So enable. It vibrates. Let's do the right one just to make sure we didn't mess nothing up. Enable. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put it in drive. Shut the door. So now I'm going to have my assistants walk in front of the vehicle. They're going to walk in front of the vehicle. Walk again, closer and slower. I can feel it vibrating, the lights working on there. Okay, I'm going to go to reverse to do the rear ones. Same thing. I put it in park and it never throws a fault code. Then if I go to trouble codes, there'll be no codes because no lights came on. No fault codes, it works as advertised. So that's a wrap for this 2015 Chevy Silverado 2500. We had the broken wire to the motor, vibration motor, hammock motor, or haptic motor in the seat. Those causing issues with the sonar system on this vehicle.